Haru woke before the sun, the familiar ache in his shoulders urging him awake. Beside him, Kenji slept soundly, his chest rising and falling with each breath. Haru nudged Kenji, then sat watching him wake. In the soft morning light, Kenji's face looked peaceful, his usual frown lines smoothed away, revealing a quiet strength Haru had seen in himself only a few days prior. Kenji, Haru said softly, "Aiko will be here soon. Are you ready?" Kenji stretched, sleep pulling at his eyes. Ready for what? To leave. Kenji looked around the bakery, at the worn counter, the flour-dusted shelves, the bread still sitting in its basket, cooling. Outside, the sky was clear, promising a day as beautiful as any he'd known. Yet, in his heart, Kenji felt leaden, his hands clenched into fists. "I can't go," he whispered, more to himself than to Haru. Startled by the sudden despair in Kenji's voice, Haru leaned closer. "Why not? Is something wrong?" Kenji shook his head, unable to voice the turmoil within him. Fear. It was all fear. Fear of leaving, fear of failing, fear of everything. He'd spent so long hiding from the world, wrapping himself in the comfort of the bakery, that now, when hope offered him a way out, he wanted to shrink back into the shadows. Just then, Aiko appeared in the doorway, her hair braided, her cheeks flushed from the morning walk. She beamed at them. "Are you coming?" Kenji shook his head again, tears pricking at his eyes. He wanted to go, to feel the sun on his skin, the wind in his hair, to chase the butterflies that danced just out of reach, just like the life he used to have. Now, though, fear held him fast, squeezing the joy from his chest until it hurt to breathe. Seeing Kenji's pain, Haru knew what he had to do. Placing a hand on Kenji's shoulder, he said gently, "Let's talk outside." Once they were in the open, away from the bakery's comforting smells, Haru asked, "What's happening, Kenji?" Kenji bit his lip, fighting back tears. "I want to go, but I can't. I'm scared." Haru scared of trying and failing, scared of hurting, scared of everything. His voice cracked. "I've never been good at anything. Haru, baking, school, making friends. I failed at it all. So what makes you think I won't fail at living?" Haru looked at Kenji, truly saw him, not just the baker's apprentice, not just the boy who stumbled through life, but Kenji, the person with hopes, dreams, and fears. "I don't think you'll fail because you're not alone, Kenji. You have me. You have Aiko. And most importantly, you have you. And even if you stumble, and you will, you'll pick yourself up again, stronger and wiser. I promise you that." Kenji sniffled, wiping his eyes. He knew Haru was right, but fear still clutched at his heart. Then Aiko put a hand on Kenji's other shoulder, her touch as gentle as a summer breeze. "We're going to need you, Kenji," she said softly. "Not the baker, but you, Kenji, the one who yearns for adventure, for new cheeses and stories. Come back to him, Kenji. Please." Her words pierced through the fog of his fear. Adventure, new cheeses and stories. How could he say no to that? Kenji took a deep breath, trying to push the fear away. You're right, Aiko. I do want to see what's beyond this hill. With newfound determination, Kenji straightened his shoulders. The world was vast and he was small, but he wouldn't let fear keep him small anymore. Hand in hand, the three set off toward the neighboring town. At first, Kenji's legs felt heavy, each step pulling him back toward the old bakery. He turned several times, tempted to run back. But then he noticed something strange. With every step forward, the fear lessened slightly. It didn't disappear, but it loosened its grip. Soon enough, the town came into view, a tapestry of winding cobblestone streets, quaint houses, and distant laughter. As they entered, people stopped to greet Aiko and Haru, their faces warm and welcoming. Kenji's heart skipped a beat. Had he really found somewhere where he belonged? On the outskirts of town stood a weathered stone wall adorned with colorful pebbles. Etched into its surface were words that seemed to glow. The cheese always moves. Move with it, Aiko traced the letters with her finger. See, Kenji, others know this truth too. We're not alone. Kenji nodded, feeling a lump form in his throat. They weren't alone. He wasn't alone. As they walked deeper into town, the sounds of hammers, anvils, and shouts echoed from a nearby market. The aroma of freshly baked bread mingled with the sweet scent of pastries, teasing Kenji's empty stomach. Suddenly, Kenji froze, his gaze drawn to an old man hunched over a workbench. With nimble fingers, the man crafted a wooden bird, his face creased in concentration. There was something about the old man's focused expression, the way his hands moved with precision and grace, that stirred something deep within Kenji. The old man looked up, catching Kenji's gaze and beckoning him closer. Intrigued, Kenji hesitantly approached. "Do you like birds?" the old man asked, his voice raspy but kind. Kenji nodded, mesmerized by the intricate details of the wooden bird. The old man smiled. "I haven't seen you around these parts before. Are you new here?" Kenji blushed, realizing he hadn't heard a word the man had said. Yeah, I'm new here," he stammered, suddenly self-conscious. The old man chuckled, his eyes twinkling. "Don't be shy, lad. Come, sit with me for a while." Kenji sat down on a nearby stool, acutely aware of his worn clothes and calloused hands. The old man, seemingly oblivious to Kenji's discomfort, continued working on his wooden bird. A comfortable silence settled between them, broken only by the rhythmic tap of the old man's hammer. After a while, Kenji couldn't hold back his curiosity any longer. "What are you making?" he asked, nodding toward the wooden bird. The old man looked up, his face etched with years of laughter and wisdom. "This," he said, holding up the bird for Kenji to see, "is freedom. Each stroke of my hammer brings it closer to life. Soon it will soar through the sky, carrying messages of joy and hope." Kenji stared at the bird, his mind wandering. Could this simple wooden toy be a symbol of freedom? Was he, too, crafting his own freedom with every step he took away from the bakery? Lost in thought, Kenji didn't notice the old man's gaze lingering on him, a knowing smile playing on his lips. Suddenly, a loud commotion broke the peaceful atmosphere. A crowd had gathered around a stall, their voices rising in excitement. Kenji and the old man exchanged glances and, without a word, rose to join the crowd. As they made their way through the bustling market, the cacophony of sounds washed over Kenji, blending with the vibrant colors and enticing aromas. Reaching the stall, he found the source of the commotion. A display of cheeses of all shapes, sizes, and textures. Some were round and golden, while others were long and veined with blue. Kenji's eyes widened in amazement. He'd never seen such a variety of cheese before. The sight of the cheeses stirred something within Kenji, a sense of wonder and possibility. It was as if each cheese represented a different path in life, a different flavor to savor. An elderly woman behind the stall noticed Kenji's fascination and chuckled. "Never seen so much cheese in one place, eh?" "It's amazing," Kenji whispered, reaching out to touch a creamy white cheese. The woman leaned closer, her voice raspy with age. "Each cheese has its own story, its own journey. Just like you, young one, each cheese is unique, just as you are." Her words hung in the air, resonating with Kenji. Was this, too, a sign that he could craft his own unique journey, a cheese that would bear his name? Before Kenji could respond, a hearty voice boomed from beside him. "Oi, you there, with the sad sack on your shoulder. Come help me unload these sacks. 1 silver coin per sack." Turning, Kenji saw a burly man struggling with a pile of sacks. Kenji glanced at the old man and Aiko, who gave him encouraging nods. Taking a deep breath, Kenji squared his shoulders and said, "How many sacks?" 5, the man grunted. "And make it quick. The tavern ain't gonna wait." Kenji wasted no time. With newfound determination, he grabbed a sack and heaved it onto his shoulder. Though the weight threatened to pull him down, Kenji pressed on, remembering the old man's words. "Each cheese has its own story, just like you." This was his story now, a story of courage, hard work, and the promise of a better future. As the first rays of sunlight touched his skin, Kenji realized that the warmth he felt wasn't just from the sun. It was the warmth of hope rekindled, of dreams taking flight, of a new cheese waiting to be made. He was no longer just Kenji, the baker's apprentice. He was Kenji, the adventurer, the cheesemaker, the one who dared to dream and work hard to make those dreams a reality. He was, quite simply, free.